After a long day of making stuff, there's nothing we love more than warming our artsy-fartsy bones in front of a warm fire, especially during the holidays.
Since receiving some store-bought fire starters for Christmas a while ago, we became interested in making our own, because how hard could it be? But when we went online to find some recipes, we were quickly overwhelmed with all the different ones, each one claiming to be the best or the ultimate or the bee's knees of the fire starters. So what we decided to do was we are going to take all the recipes, we're gonna make them all, and then we're gonna test them, and we're gonna find out which one really is the best ultimate bee's knees of the fire starters. Okay, yay! Experiment number 1 for the fire starters. So we've set up a double boiler here with a cheap pot, hot plate, metal bowl. You can also try a mug warmer, but we're finding that this is taking a really long time, so that's faster. You need egg cartons, some lint from your dryer, and some old candles, or if you don't have a bunch of old candles lying around because you're not weird like us, then you can go to the store and get some golf wax. We're gonna try using 3D printed molds. We've got Formlabs Flexible here and Formlabs Elastic. Okay, so we're gonna start with taking some lint. I'm gonna do the traditional way that the internet's told me to do. I am going to take lint and shove it in the egg carton and then pour wax over it.
And I'm gonna take some lint and I'm gonna pack it into the mold and then pour some wax on it. Basically like a wax lint sandwich. I'm gonna put a lot.
I'm going to pour the wax over the packed in lint, and then I'm gonna try pouring some in and then tamping a little bit in.
Why is your hair in the lint?
Because, oh, it's soaking in. That's good. All right, I'm gonna pour some in mine, and then I'm gonna shove my lint in. Doesn't look that appetizing though. They look great. They look wonderful. Look at mine.
Ew. You know, it's for like the rustic Christmas gift for your family. You're gonna give them a bunch of old candles with fur in them from your dryer and be like, here, you can start a fire with them. I love you, Merry Christmas. Don't touch it.
I was just curious.
Okay.
All right, yours look fantastic.
Thank you. Oh, look, it's filled with wax. And hair. Looks like a cat threw up in there. Mom, look what I made. I made it good. I'm an artist.
They're flaming hairballs. So egg carton, lint, fire starter experiment complete.
Mega success.
Sort of. Okay, now we just wait. Okay, experiment 2. For this one, we're gonna do the classic cotton round, but we're also gonna try a couple other variations that I read about. We're gonna try old tea bags that have been used and dried out. And we're gonna try also playing around with using petroleum jelly, also known as Vaseline.
Vaseline.
I've got a different color of wax. I've got white.
Oh, white for the white cotton rounds?
Yeah.
That'll look nice. They'll blend in.
So the cotton is super flammable when it's got nothing in it. When it's fully waxified, it's also waterproof. So I'm gonna try doing a dip in just wax. I'm gonna let it drip off. For that one, let's try dipping this first. Vaseline.
Oh, I'm gonna pour some of my wax. Okay, I've got a hot and waxy one. I'm gonna steal this petroleum coated.
I'm gonna do a few because I've read so much on the internet and I don't know what to believe, which is why we're experimenting. So I've got wax only. Vaseline only. Okay, and then I'm also gonna try going into Vaseline first and then wax on the outside to waterproof it. Okay, and then I'm also gonna try just dipping a tea bag in wax.
So why are we gonna use the tea bags?
Because their trash and
We can catch them on fire. The petroleum. Okay, I'm dipping it. Going for the wax.
mine is only wax.
I made this.
Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more.
We're gonna have so many things to catch on fire.
We're gonna have so many fires.
We're stocking up for the winter.
I don't like the petroleum alone because it's
Never gonna try.
it's slimy.
Yeah. Here's your communion wafer.
This is awful. Thank you. The way that these work is that the idea is the cotton is super flammable. You have to rip it open and get the little
Fibers. The cottony fibers.
little fuzzies.
It's cool.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm gonna light it on fire. Experiment number 2.
Experiment number 2. Third experiment. This one, we're putting on gloves because this one's gonna be a little messier. For the third experiment, we have cardboard,
Cardboard.
an old carton,
Carton.
and we have paraffin lamp oil. What the theory is we want to try soaking the cardboard in the paraffin and then putting wax around it and seeing how that does. I'm just gonna cut the top off of this.
And I'll prepare the paraffin
paraffin.
oil.
I think I'm gonna just leave this big, fill it, and then I think I'm just gonna cut it apart with our saw so that I don't have to do as many. That's what I'm thinking.
Put like a 1/4 inch.
Okay.
I'll put like a little more than a 1/4.
Okay.
Oh my god, smell that. Smells like nothing.
I was gonna say, my nose is broken. I'm thinking that I put the corrugations going this way so that wax is gonna go down in between. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. You're gonna do one at a time?
They saturate right away. So.
Yeah. Do you want the pile? Here,
Oh, okay.
have the pile. I just cut a couple boxes. Oh, got all in between the corrugations.
In betwixt.
I think I need some more oil.
Hooray!
Hooray!
It's gonna be a dense fire starter.
It is. Okay, I'm just gonna dunk. Oh, here, a bubble.
It's the magic happening.
Look, can you see a bubble? My paraffin oily cardboard.
Neat.
Oh, it looks like something.
Fourth experiment. Very exciting.
What is it?
It is going to be completely different, and we're going to try some more natural materials. Our vessel, at least for me, you keep using the molds,
I will.
the 3D printed molds, but I grabbed our silicone little baby cupcake tray,
Cupcakes.
and then we happen to have matching Christmas cupcake wrappers. So I'm going to put those inside. It'll just make removal pretty easy. I would like to try using some needles from our tree as the filler, the burny parts. To get creative, I went and picked up pine cones from Mother Nature, and I thought we'd stick those in.
Cool. That'd
And
be fun.
maybe those will look cute. And we can stick little sprigs, tree sprigs in there too.
So make some rustic, adorable little
So
nature
they may
fire
look better
starters.
than the other ones.
Mine.
Because why not? We got some essential oils from our collection of oils, and I thought we could try mixing them into some wax.
We got some peppermints, we got some cinnamons, and we got some frankincense.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
For the last why not, we got some magical flames.
Magic flame!
I've never used these before, but it's got warnings galore all over the package.
Like, don't cut open the package.
Which we're gonna do.
Don't look at the package. Don't smell the package. Don't let the package get in your eyeballs. Don't inhale the package. Don't touch the package.
Yeah, I don't think this is something that you should be using every day indoors. It says to just throw this whole thing in the fire, which we're not gonna do.
Yeah, throw the whole plastic package in the fire.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab my
Do it.
little cupcake mold and I'm gonna put these little wrappies in there. They've got little gingerbread men on there. And then I think I'm going to shove the pine needles inside and then try to sort of compose a little winter wonderland fire scene.
Yeah, fill it. Fill it.
These would probably work better if they were drier, but our tree is so fresh. So I made a little can and I put a label on it so I don't get confused.
Glub, glub, glub.
So I have no idea how many drops will equal what smell.
Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Pepperminty.
I'm just gonna start with that.
Okay.
Ooh, that's really strong. Holy cow. Okay, maybe not as many drops as I did. Maybe I will add more wax to settle that down.
Calm yourself, stinky stuff.
Then,
Oh my gosh. Magical flames.
magical flames. Just gonna cut open. I'm gonna try to pour this in first. And then now that there's a layer, I'm gonna sprinkle some of this on in there. Oh, it's going everywhere. And then I'm gonna top it off with more. And then I wanna throw in one of these cute little pine cones.
Oh, with the pine cone, it's beautiful. What experiment number is this?
The last one,
The final experiment?
number 5. For this one, we're gonna try using wood shavings, which is one of the popular materials that people are using, but not everybody has access to wood shops, so you can use wood pet bedding from, you know, Walmart or
Oh, like hamster bedding. or
yeah.
something.
So we're gonna do a mixture of wax, beeswax, and olive oil. And supposedly, the internet told me that the olive oil keeps the wax from cracking so much. And to make the pieces, we got these cute little Christmas candy molds. And we're gonna try to connect a bunch of them together on a string, and then you can just. So I'm not sure how this is gonna go because those molds are gonna be maybe a little bit rascally. So I got a bowl. Maybe I can try mixing the wood shavings with some wax. I'm just also gonna try just pouring it in, seeing how that goes. And then as an alternative to the cotton rounds, you can get just cotton rope, I guess.
Ooh.
And this you can just rip apart easily, so you can get those super flammable floofies.
Floopies?
Floofies.
It's like cotton intestine.
And this is pretty cheap. So there's that, and then we've got the string that we're gonna connect with is jute.
Jute.
And I'm also gonna throw in some more Vaseline because I think that's gonna help it go faster.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
We need to first make our mixture. 3 parts candle wax.
3 parts
this is
candle
just
wax.
normal candle wax. 2 parts
Dos partos.
beeswax. 1 part olive oil. Ooh, smells woody. So this is the first technique, is we'll put it in first and hopefully we'll get a nice casting out of this. Now I'm gonna pour my mixture, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, let's see if this works. I'm gonna dip this is just more petroleum jelly from before, and I'm gonna shove that in here. And I'm gonna kind of like stick I'm gonna stick the string down with this. I'm gonna top it off. I'm gonna put just a little bit more wax over this whole thing. I have another mold to do another one. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit. Wood shavings in here, that was a lot. And I'm gonna take some wax. You wanna see my mixture? It looks like goobers. Yeah, I can kind of scoop this, but I don't know if this is, I think this is harder. Get it in all of Santa's crevices. I want this to look nice.
Pat, 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 pat.
Just gonna stick that in there.
Dip, dip.
Get it to soak in that cotton. Okay, I did another one. Let's see how all these go. I don't know, we just took a bunch of different techniques that the internet suggested and then made a bunch of different things. Who knows if it's gonna work? I don't. Do you?
I'm just gonna catch stuff on fire.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you guys have ideas based off of what we've done that you could share and help people like us out, that would be great. Well, that was fun. Now, to find out which one is most effective, we are going to channel our inner genius and create a tightly controlled testing facility in a vacuum chamber of our backyard. In the first test here, we want to find out how long each one burns for. We were curious how much the Vaseline changes things, so you can see both the wax only and the combo Vaseline and wax from experiment 2. I didn't like the Vaseline only because it was slimy and too impractical for me to store, but it does burn okay. And if you look at number 4, you can see the magical flames doing their magic.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
And now that we know wood shavings and pine needles make for a long burn, we wanted to test these in some more outdoorsy scenarios. We wanted to see if they were waterproof, able to be lit with a ferro rod,
Turn it on.
windproof or at least wind resistant, and lastly, how strong the flame is at a 6-inch height. We submerged the fire starters in muddy water the night before and pulled them out right before lighting them. I prepared them by breaking them open to expose the flammable material inside and then attempted to ignite them with a ferro rod. I got some of them to sizzle, but none of them lit. I clearly am ineffective.
Should we call this a
with
failure?
This
Failure.
Failure! They are waterproof though, since they are all coated in wax, and once they were lit, we turned on our 2100 CFM fans at about 5 feet away. Some went out, but after being reignited and blown on with the fan again, they were then able to stay lit, so I guess that makes them wind resistant. This 1x3 was scorched by some, but just warmed by the others.
Our genius brains tell us that our scientific findings indicate that experiment number 5 seems to be a good combination. So experiment 5 was the best one. It had the most things, so I don't know what made it the best, but I think the wood shavings were a contributing factor.
All the natural materials, I mean, who'd have thunk it? Wood was the best thing. And, you know, I really thought that the lamp oils and the petroleum jelly and the cotton rounds were going to be things that were going to ignite better
And they
last,
ignited.
But they ignited it, but it was a very quick.
It was short-lived.
And if you're curious about the cotton rounds soaked in Vaseline, they worked fine, but they were gross to handle and not waterproof. The tea bags were similar to the cotton rounds, except they were free and were easier to ignite without preparation needed.
But those essential oils didn't smell as much as I thought they would. It was really cool to see that the 3D printed molds worked. Both of them, the elastic and the flexible, but the elastic was a little easier to demold.
Yeah,
than the
absolutely. It
flexible.
was way easier to demold.
Yeah.
I felt like it held the casting a lot better too. You got better detail from it. It was crisper.
Yeah,
So-
and we found that if you heat the mold for a second with a heat gun first and then pour in your hot wax, that it spreads better. And we also found that if you heat the wax a little hotter than recommended, it pours through the lint or the sawdust or the needles or whatever easier.
Yeah, I mean, not being wax experts or candle makers, I feel like we learned that, you know, there's that nice perfect temperature for where you want to pour and get the
Yeah.
best results. And I felt like we were pouring either a little too cool or a little too
Yeah.
hot on it most of the time.
But candle makers, I'm sure, will be able to tell us that we did many things wrong and why. And maybe you can comment below and tell other people what those reasons are.
so that, we can all learn something together. And we found out that it's pretty lousy when you can't get your fire starter started to get your fire started. So, the ones that had some kind of wick, like the cardboard or the jute, were easier to use. If this helps you in your search for a fun project or perhaps the perfect fire starter and you appreciate our days-long burning of the things and melting of the waxes, you might be interested in tomorrow's random obsession of ours, go ahead and subscribe and we greatly appreciate it.
There's many ways to enjoy the holidays. This has been Art 2 Cents on how we get the Yule log a burn.